everyone, and welcome to How Ines Rolls. It's Monday morning here, and as I was coming down the stairs, there's a lot of cleanup to do. We had a great weekend, and it's just time to get our wheels going for the beginning of the week. Plus, I want to start on a recipe for dinner tonight and tell you a little bit more about my mom. So let's get started. We have a homeschool group today, a co-op, so I don't have too much time, but you can see, look at that. That's actually leprechaun stuff, but we'll leave that for the classroom. But that other stuff, that's gotta go. I'm gonna give myself about 30 minutes and I'm gonna see what I can get done in that amount of time. I can hear the little boys upstairs. I've challenged them to pick up Legos in their room. I think they're more playing than cleaning, but you can see my room. I need to clear all this up and go all the way upstairs and just clean, clean, clean. So let's see what I could get done, right? Okay, here's the boys as before. Yikes! Let's get started cleaning, guys. Much better. I'm going to bring in the vacuum, but at least it's livable and we don't step on Legos, right guys? Yeah. Now it's this hallway, my goodness. Ugh. So much cleaner and not tripping over shoes or stepping on Lego traps, which my son, this one, said he couldn't sleep because he stepped on Legos last night. So, yep, that was taken care of and remedied right now. My life right now is moving this sectional to try to find a boot. Or Ezra has to wear these shoes. Show them. Whoa. Oh, goodness. So I've already moved things from behind there. Nothing yet. Jonas is homeschooling. And this is not supposed to be here. So I moved everything. I've dusted it, and look where Ezra finds it. Oh, Lanta, it's like he knew it was there. We just came back from homeschool group and I had to go by Trader Joe's to get some flowers, and I wanted to get mums because my mother loves mums. And so I thought these would be close enough. I think these were some of the pictures that we found of some different kinds of mums. They're not all mums. But if you haven't been to Trader Joe's or Aldi, I think Aldi is kind of like a sister company to Trader Joe's. I'm not sure about Aldi, but I know Trader Joe's has wonderful selection of flowers, and they're not very expensive. So if you're trying to get a really nice bouquet, I check the Trader Joe's near you. They have wonderful stuff. So I have a couple of these flowers that I just kind of get on the cheap. These were like $1.50. That bouquet was like $5. And just kind of like to get things in little jars and put them around the house. But because my mother, is that weird to say, your anniversary date? Is that what you say? Is coming up. I just wanted to get flowers to remember her. And so there's a really funny story about these daffodils that I was telling the kids in the car, is that she sent a big bouquet of these to my father, my machismo father. And I guess they didn't know what department he worked in, so on the loudspeakers they kept calling his name to come get his flowers at the guard gate. And when he came home, he told us about how the guys at work were hassling him about how pretty his flowers were. But it was a fundraiser and it was so nice. And Ezra, I only had this small jar, which has like a jack-o'-lantern on it, but he got a flower sticker from Trader Joe's, so he put it on the jar for me. So I'm gonna put them in here. I was going to tell you some different stories about my mom, but I lost all the recollections I wrote down after she passed away, which I'm kind of bummed about that. So I'm gonna try not to think about that right now. But I do remember some things. And really what it comes down to is don't wait. Don't wait to fix something with somebody. Don't wait long to call your mom. Don't, not go visit your parents because, you're afraid you're going to get into an argument with them. My mother was 60 when she passed away and I was 39. And I still have lots of guilt not fixing everything and wishing I was a different daughter and a better daughter. And so now I can only talk about her in past memories. So as I'm getting this together, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about her. So you want to see some pictures of my mom? She was a cutie. She had reddish, thick, wavy hair. And this is when she was with my dad. We have that in common where we were nice and thin, and then we had a few kids, and kids ruined my body as she got a little bit she gained weight after having us. See all the things that we do as mothers, our figures, huh? I'll work at it some more. And then this is my dad and my mom. You can see that thick hair. And I actually had that hair. My dad has a really curly hair, and I had that hair until it started to go white. I'll talk a little bit about that another time, but this is when they got married, and that's me. Woohoo! So I finished the bouquets just for my mom. And so I'm gonna put them up here by my sink so I can look at them during the week and the next week too. So one of the stories I wanted to tell you is that when I was in college, so I'm ornery, I'm working full time, but I'm in and out of the house and going, I'm working full time and going to college, and there's like about a few hours in between when I come home for dinner and then I have to go to a night class kind of thing, or a couple hours, and I'm so tired. And so I sit on the couch every night that I have this class, and my mom's sitting in one chair and the love seat, and my dad's in a chair, and we're watching the news or something like that, and I just kind of snuggle into my mom and I just put my head on her shoulder and I fall asleep. And that is just one thing that I just remember is, as an adult, I can look back and think, yes, I was there. I remember that and it happened, and I have a good memory of that. So another thing that I used to do is, I'm getting a little emotional. Okay, whenever I would make dinner for my family, my parents and my brother, I would make chicken spaghetti. So today, in honor of that, of making this video for my mother and how much I love her and I miss her, is I was going to make chicken spaghetti the way I used to make it for my family back in the day. You want to say hi, Ezra? I can see you. So I'm gonna get started, but I'm gonna tell you, it's nothing, there's no recipe to it. It's just kind of like whatever it is. And you can see right behind me, I already have my chicken thawing out. So I'm just gonna cube it and just start cooking it. So all I'm doing is taking a couple pieces of chicken breast and just kind of chopping them up, because this is gonna be cooking in a small frying pan, just to make sure it's got a complete cook. So whenever I made this, it's because I was in high school and I thought, oh, I want to make it with chicken instead of ground beef, and because we didn't really eat a lot of ground beef when I was a little kid, so this was perfect that we can use chicken into the spaghetti. And I added some cheeses to it, and I think my dad had enough because I was probably making it weekly. But I said, I'm gonna make dinner tonight, I'm gonna make chicken spaghetti. And I remember one time he said, oh, great, okay. or something to that effect. Oh, not again. It was kind of funny. So I probably didn't think it was funny then though, but you know, it's funny how we remember things, right? It's no big deal. He ate it, I'm sure. But and now here I am making it. I don't think I've even made this for my kids. I mean, you make spaghetti, right? And you know what? I probably do make it, but not very often. And I just remember, so what I'll do today is instead of using regular noodles, I'll just use our gluten-free ones because that's pretty much all we use anyways. But look at the oil I do have. If you know what that is. I'm just kidding. Tina and Danny gave it to us over the weekend, so yay! I have some more olive oil, so I'm just going to put a little bit in, like less than a tablespoon. And I'm just going to season that with some salt and pepper, and I might even hit it with a little bit of lemon pepper because I know I loved lemon pepper even in high school. So I'll probably just hit it a little bit with that just for a little bit of depth into the flavors. So let's get going. This is looking so good, and it smells really great. Lemon pepper is so good on this. Now it's just a hint. It's not like doused or it's just a hint. But I'm just going to keep this going. Put the cover on. Do you have a favorite childhood recipe that you love to go back to, or maybe you go over to your parents' house and they might make you something from when you were a kid and it just brings back really good memories? I think this is just one of those memories too, or recipes that works for me as well. So I've already finished my sauce. It's just a package of gluten-free sauce. I'm sorry, I finished my pasta. I'm gonna work on the sauce now. So just a bottle. And I like to kind of thin it out a little bit. And of course, I'll recycle the jar when I'm done. And to that, I'm just gonna let it kind of get to a little bit of a boil. And I'm just gonna add the chicken, and then I add about a handful of Monterey Jack cheese. So it's nice and cheesy, that's all. So I'm gonna get that going, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do with it. Little cheese, And I just add in the pasta. And this is the gluten-free, so this is kind of what we always have at home anyways. I don't usually have the other stuff because it's just one less thing that I feel as we're getting used to eating a little bit better for our diets anyways. This is good for us. And Trader Joe's has a really good gluten-free rice pasta. It's really good. I love it. And ta-da! It is mostly done. And I just loved it when I was in high school. This is like one of my favorite things to eat. Thanks for joining me today as you got to see a little bit more about my family and maybe a little bit more about me as a high schooler and what I always used to make. And it's pretty good. Dang good. So I know the boys will love it today. So thanks for visiting my channel. Give this a thumbs up, like and subscribe, because I'm always coming out with some different things. Sometimes I do some decorating things, sometimes I do some cleaning things like today, and most definitely, I love to cook. So like and subscribe and stay tuned. You never know what I'll be rolling out next.